Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show. This is Jenga Njeru. Now, today we have the Matchmaker show, and you understand the protocol here that any other time we have a man on board, the man is looking for a woman. In the same way, when we have a woman on board, that woman must be looking for a man. But because today we have a man, I will tell you the kind of woman he is looking for. But before then, if you're watching us for the first time, this is the Matchmaker show. We help men and women to get matches, and the moment they get the right ones, they meet their destinies. So you're not lost. If you're new to the show, kindly subscribe, like the video, leave a comment, and don't forget that the contacts of our guests will be on my Facebook page at Jenga Njeru. Now, our guest on today's show is a 60-year-old man. His name is Kibe. And Kibe is not your usual man, because on this very day, this is a video that we predestined. We planned to do this video on the 10th day of October 2023. Otherwise, we've been talking since July and a little bit of June, ikiisha. And Kibe is on the show. As you know that every man who comes on the show, when it's a matchmaking show, if it's not a testimony, the man must be definitely looking for a woman. And the questions follow, because we want to know why a 60-year-old man is single, why he is searching, and the kind of person he is looking for. And when I was starting the show, I told you that this is not your usual man. This is not your usual man. Our guest on this show happens to be a man who has seizures. He is a man who was diagnosed with epilepsy. And if you've done a study, you can agree with me that epilepsy is both a disease that can be a condition and a health situation at the same time. I mean, this one can attack one from childhood and still at old age. There is no formula for epilepsy. Unaona kifafa, kuna watu wanashikwa na kifafa wakiwa wadogo na kuna watu wanashikwa na kifafa wakiwa watu wazee. Sasa huyu mzee alishikwa na epilepsy akiwa mzee wa 54. This is the 6th year since he contracted the condition. And how did it begin? Inasemekana ya kwamba this is not your normal thing. It is not like a medical condition or something, because it began with, you know, what we call disputes over land, dispute over boundaries, disputes of family. There are families that share land. There are families that share land na unakuta brothers, mzee amebaki peke yake, brothers zake pengine walipass ama sister zake. Sasa he was supposed to be the custodian of that land. Unfortunately, the man decides to cut part of it to give himself more, and then there is that curse that comes over a family. And that is what happened to him. They are not afraid of this curse because they settled the dispute. Na baada ya kusettle hizo differences, mzee ananiambia ni kwamba kidogo kidogo anaona zinapungua. He has asked for forgiveness, and that's it. No, the man comes from a place called Narumoro. Narumoro is in Nyeri County, Central Kenya, and he happens to have admittedly grabbed land that was supposed to be his brothers, late brothers. And the brother, the children of the brothers were left alone. So the man, having his own sons and daughters, grabbed that land. One thing led to another, and 4 years ago the wife passed on, and there has been a series of unfortunate events. Like, one thing leads to another, one loss leads to another, one misfortune leads to another. He lost his firstborn son, he lost his wife, and he said no more. And that is exactly how he ended up single. Okay? Admittedly, watu wenye wanajua shida za mipaka wanajua ya kwamba you cannot extend somebody's boundary and inflict pain on them and get away with it. This is something that has been suffered by generations upon generations. Parents give children equal share. And if you try to extend a boundary, knowingly, if you extend a boundary deliberately, ndio unyang'anye mwenzako, there will be something that will befall on you in form of a consequence, and that is the kind of consequence that befell Kibe. So Kibe has repented, imebidi mpaka ameokoka, kwa sababu anasema some of these battles are spiritual and you cannot fight spiritual battles with physical weapons. What you do is to align yourself with the fluidity, with the liquidity and the flow of battle, so that you can be able to fight accordingly. Because if that battle is on sea and you're not a Navy officer and you're not experienced in matters Navy, in matters water battles, you cannot be able to fight it on land. We together. So I am giving this story so that nobody will just be asking me, oh, Kifafa alitoa wapi, akianguka anaweza fanya nini, what was the worst thing. I asked him, he told me, I told you we started talking towards the end of June. July took an extended conversation, and he deliberately wanted us to do this video on the 10th day of October 2023, because 4 years ago, a day like this, his wife passed on. Okay, his wife passed on mysteriously, and he had grabbed somebody's land, and these are relatives, helpless children. Amewarejeshea shamba, amerudisha, hata ametoa ingine sehemu, because he's a wealthy man. He is a wealthy man, lakini unakuta, imagine, I don't know what this symbolizes. Mtu anakuta ng'ombe yake imekufa, it was haikuwa imedungwa sumu, hakuna nini, hakuna mtu ameingia. Yeye ananiambia alikuwa anaona this series of unfortunate things, anakulwa na mipaka. That's what they say in vernacular. Mipaka ndio inamkula, like the source of his problems are those boundaries. I am hoping that Mr. Kibe can be able to get a good match. We say that on this show, we do not judge people. We cannot judge people and love them at the same time. So we choose to love them. We choose to give them an opportunity. After all, we are not the ones who are choosing them. So the best we can do is to give them a platform to air their needs, and if there is somebody who understands or identifies with them and could be interested in getting them as their personal matches, well and good. That is the best we can do. Okay, we cannot guarantee that we will match him directly, but at least we can give him an opportunity. So he's looking for a woman who is between the ages of 45 and of course 55, because he doesn't want somebody who will be older than him. This woman can have kids, he doesn't have a problem. And one of the biggest lessons he has been able to learn from life is that you cannot get away with certain crimes. There is the law of compensation. At one point or another, karma will catch up with you, and that is why he has decided to get born again. He has decided to change his ways. He has decided to become a better man. He has decided that his life will be an embodiment of goodness, an embodiment of empathy, an embodiment of goodwill, because he wants to be a good man. For the remaining days of his life, he wants to be with a happy woman. He wants to have a woman who, and one condition, or one of the conditions that was given by Kibe is, and his name is Stanley Kibe. One of the conditions is that this woman should not be working, because there is a lot of work to do together. This woman should not be working because there is a lot of work to be done. He is a prominent poultry farmer. He raises ducks. He is in fact, in his area, he is the only man who has portion meal for livestock. You know, he makes his own, the Stanley feeds. If you heard the Stanley feeds, ni huyo mzee. He doesn't have a problem. Watu wengi wanajua story yake. He has also shared his story on another platform. Okay, there was a time he shared his story on another platform, wakati walikuwa wamekuja kuona venye anakuwa mkulima mzuri. Sawa sawa. So story yake inajulikana, na mimi nawatakia kila laheri. Pia yeye namtakia baraka, apate mtu mzuri, na kama huyo mtu atatoka hapa kwetu, well and good. We can only wish them the very best. So guys, I take this opportunity to wish you a happy Utamaduni Day. This is Kenya's day. It used to be called Moi Day. When we were in school, we used to look forward to this very day, 10th of October every year. Tungepika chapati pengine nyumbani. Pia tuangalie ingine hii inakuja 20th, ilikuwa inaitwa Kenyatta Day, yenye walibadilisha wakaita Mashujaa Day, and that's how now our days were made, that tumekaribia siku za masikukuu. Ukisikia mwezi mmoja uko na sikukuu mbili ndani, unaona. So I am wishing you a happy Utamaduni Day, and may God bless you. May God meet all the desires of your heart. We are wishing you the very, very best of luck. Until tomorrow, this is Jenga Jen. God bless you. Bye bye.